Hey Credit Warriors, Credit Shifter here. Well, we did a video a few weeks ago talking about 12 transfer partners that Capital One was bringing in on the venture card in December. That number has now increased to 14. That's right, they have added Emirates Airlines and Singapore KrisFlyer program to that list. So it's now 14 transfer partners and they are now live. They went live yesterday, December 10th. So you can actually now transfer Capital One venture miles over to those 14 airline transfer partners. In our previous video, we mentioned that it was a 2 to 1.5 ratio. So 2 Capital One miles will transfer to 1.5 of the transfer partners miles. With the 2 new ones, it's actually going to be 2 to 1. So with Emirates and with Singapore KrisFlyer, it's going to be 2 Capital One miles to 1 airline mile. With the other 12, it's still 2 to 1.5. So if you don't know, the venture card, it earns 2 points back per dollar on everything. So that 2 points will transfer into 1.5 with the 12 transfer partners, and it'll transfer to 1 mile with the Etihad and the KrisFlyer. Singapore Airlines KrisFlyer. They also have the bonus category of 10 points back at hotels.com. So that will obviously be transferring to 7.5 points in the 12 airline partners and 5 points per dollar with the 2 new ones, Etihad and KrisFlyer. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to take a look at each of these airlines, just tell you a little bit about it, which alliance it's part of, etc. So let's get stuck in. So Aeromexico, that is part of the SkyTeam Alliance. Then we have Air Canada, which is part of Star Alliance. So you can book, potentially book United flights through Air Canada. They're both part of Star Alliance. Then we have Air France KLM, that's Flying Blue is their loyalty program, and they are part of SkyTeam. Alitalia, Italy's national airline, is also part of SkyTeam. And then we have Aviasia, which is part of Star Alliance. Hope I pronounced that right. Next one is Cathay Pacific, Hong Kong's airline. That's part of One World Alliance, which also includes British Airways and American Airlines. So good for booking flights on both those 2 carriers. Also, if you want to experience Cathay Pacific first class, which is one of the best in the world, that's something you could do with Cathay Pacific. Now we have Emirates, which is one of the 2 new ones added. They're not part of an alliance, but they do have a load of partners, which include Qantas, Alaska Airlines, EasyJet. Now, not all of them you can both earn and redeem points on. So some of them you can only redeem Emirates points on, some of them you can only earn. You'll have to have a look on their website. You can see, for example, EasyJet, you can't earn points from it, but you can redeem Emirates points for EasyJet flights. It's just an example for you there. Then we have Etihad Airlines, which also doesn't have an alliance, but it has a load of partners, including American Airlines. You can book those 25,000 point first class transcontinental tickets on AA with Etihad guest miles. They also have Korean Air, ANA as partners, so a lot of promise there, over 20 partners. Ever Air, Taiwan's national airline, that's part of Star Alliance. Great way to get to Asia, although you have to transfer in Taiwan and then go wherever you're going. Finnair is part of One World Alliance with British Airways, American, etc. Then we have Hainan Airlines from China, this little island in the south of China, and that has no alliance. Then we have Qantas, Australia's national airline, part of One World Alliance, and also Qatar, which is also part of One World Alliance. And lastly, we have Singapore KrisFlyer, which is part of Star Alliance. And if you want to experience Singapore Airlines Suites, that's obviously where you would transfer. I tried out Singapore Airlines Suites hard product a while back when one of their old planes was flying for Norwegian. It was really, really cool. But obviously, if you want the full service or to try the brand new suites that were just introduced, I think last year or even this year, I can't quite remember. But anyway, you'll need to transfer over to Singapore. What's interesting is there's not a single US airline in the list, although you can book flights on US airlines, all 3 US airlines actually, Delta, all 3 legacy carriers, Delta, American Airlines and United, through various airlines, because all 3 alliances are covered. You can also book on Alaska with Emirates, etc. And another thing you'll notice is that all 3 of the Middle Eastern, the big 3 Middle Eastern airlines, Qatar, Emirates and Etihad, all 3 are covered. So if you want to experience, Emirates first class, Etihad apartment, Qatar Airlines business class, or Q Suites, which is their new business class, you can do that through this card. So a very interesting set of partners indeed. The Capital One Venture card currently has a sign-up bonus of 50,000 miles. So if you are interested in that card, you can click the link below to learn more. As always, if you use our links, it does help out our show. So we thank you very much if you do. Guys, this was just a quick video just to update you on that, to let you know that it is now live and they've added those 2 extra airlines. What do you think about this set of transfer partners? Are you excited about it? Are you going to consider applying for this card? Please leave your comments below. As always, subscribe to the Credit Shifu. We have a new video out on our Business Shifu channel about small business structure. If you're interested in that kind of thing, I'll put it on the end of this video. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.